Sets. A big afternoon to come though. Next it's the newly crowned French Open champion and world #1 Rafael Nadal. He's up against Marcus Daniel. Well, Rafael Nadal is obviously the favourite to get through in that match, and if he does, he'll play the winner of a match that's just about to start out on court #2. It features Dustin Brown up against Denis Istomin of Uzbekistan. Well, John Inverdale has been out and about today, and he's been chatting to the very interesting Jamaican Dustin Brown.
I've been trying to think of a list of great Jamaican tennis players, and it's quite a short list, isn't it?
It's not very long.
So how did you get into the sport?
I was born in Germany, and we basically lived beside a tennis court, and the coach there was a Jamaican who was actually a friend of the family. And that's basically, passing the courts every day and watching, and then, when I was like 4 or 5, I said, I'd like to start that, and that's actually how it came about.
So are we talking, the Beckers and the Grafs as the inspiration for you to play the game almost?
When I was that age, of course, I think 85 that was a little bit too young, but that's just the time when Becker won the first slam. I think it was 85, his Wimbledon, and also, of course, being in Germany, having the tennis boom, and that definitely also helped.
So tell us what happened after you decided that, I quite fancy playing this game. What was the direction you took after that?
I was playing a lot of sports when I was younger, football, soccer, and then as I was growing older, 8, 9, 10, my parents kind of said, if you want to do something or you want to be really good at one thing, then you have to try and focus on that. And it was basically between soccer and tennis. And decision dropped to tennis because it's, it's a single sport. I'm responsible for my own game. You could play soccer and you could be the best guy in the field that day and still lose because maybe, and also because I was playing, I think I was better in tennis than in soccer, so I decided to go with the tennis, and everybody has a dream to become top 100 and to play Wimbledon and all these tournaments, and it starts out as a dream, and you play, and then got better and better.
And you're playing well at the moment.
Playing very well. The last 6 years before that has been a little bit struggling. I was between 550 and 450 in the rankings, and in the last year I just took off. And
listen, it's interesting because I want to talk about the fact that let's face it, you're eligible to play Davis Cup for Great Britain, and we're not exactly we haven't got a very long list of our own of people that we fancy doing that. If somebody rang you up, would you be interested?
Why not? I'd listen to it, definitely. I mean, I know that on my father's side that I have family in England, and I don't know exactly what the rules were there, what you have to do to be eligible, but that, I guess, would be the third country I could play for, yeah.
But I was going to ask, actually, you say that you spend a long time between 550 and 450, and just most people watching will not appreciate just how hard it is on the Challenger and the Future circuit, where, your whole future destiny, week in, week out, just hangs by a thread, doesn't it?
Especially when you... my parents are not don't have a very rich background, so I'm the only tennis player in my family, and they try everything to support me and get me towards my goal. And then sometimes you see a lot of kids getting a lot of support from the federations. Then of course you play a kid like that in a 5-all in the third set, and then you maybe be a little tighter than the other guy, and it's just a mental thing and just going week in, week out. And when I finished juniors, my parents were thinking about how they could get me to keep playing. So they thought of, okay, if I want to do this, this is the last thing they can actually try and do, so I can play every week, was to get a camper. And we got a RV, a big camper in Europe, in Germany, and I was based out of basically playing tournaments week in, week out, anywhere near the area. Even if you would lose first round in the Future, which was, I think, $117 you get, still have enough money to go to the next tournament for gas, and then try and eat in the camper, cook, whatever. And I did that for 4 years, and it was definitely a grind. Once in a while you think, oh my God, is this ever going to end? Does it make any sense? And then you play well and have good weeks, and then you're really happy. And then basically the thing was to try and get into the challengers, but then challengers are more widely spread out, and you have the problem with the traveling. And then my doubles ranking got better because I got 2 wildcards into a challenger from the tournament director in Germany. Actually 1 wildcard, and the next one I actually got in, played 2 semifinals, and then my ranking got into that area where I would go at least to play doubles main draw, so I would have the hospitality. So I would just have to take care of one night, and that kind of got me into the whole singles thing, getting me to play more.
So you're a great believer in the approach that if you're hungry, you're more likely to win?
Definitely has an edge to it, I mean, also other people who are more fortunate with federations, wildcards, money, etc., can make it, but I think there's a bunch of things that belong to making it, luck, having the right background, having a good coach, having in the right tournament, maybe the right draws. You know, it could be that you play unbelievable, get into a main draw of a Grand Slam and you play Roger first round. That's not exactly the draw you've been looking for. So, you know, if you would have had a different draw, maybe that would have boosted your ranking a little bit. So it's a variety of things.
How important do you think your shoelaces are to your current good form?
I don't know how important they are, but I'm leaving them in the shoes. I'm not taking them out. So
tell us about them. Because you've got brightly coloured yellow and orange shoelaces.
It was in January 2009. We went to a future in Spain, and we were packing stuff at my friend's house, and we were playing doubles together. And I just found a bag randomly with a bunch of coloured shoelaces, and I'm like, yeah, might as well just pack them. And then I tried to get him to, if we play finals the first week, you have to put them in your shoes, and me too, in the same colours. And he's like, I don't know. He's like, okay, fine. If we play finals, I'll do it. And then we lost the finals, and he took him out, and I'm just like, yeah, I like him. Might as well keep him in there. And since then, I mean, the first tournament I lost first round and doubles finals. The week after I played finals and singles, won doubles. The week after I played finals and singles, won doubles. And then the third week, won doubles again. So I'm like, okay, I'm leaving them in. We'll see what happens. And since then, it's just been going good.
And what's on the headphones at the moment? What do you listen to on the way on
Most of the time, Lil Wayne or Movado, a dancehall artist from Jamaica.
Okay, I'm sure they're some of Sue Barker's favourite artists. And realistically, how do you see the next 6-12 months?
This next 6 months, I hopefully to keep going the way it's been going. I have a couple main draw events coming up now, also Wimbledon. Yeah, I think for a couple of months now I have no points to defend. My ranking is about 105 now, so it can only get better. And I won yesterday a really tough match against a good player, so hopefully we'll keep going.
Davis Cup?
For what country?
What a nice guy. We'll talk more on him in a moment. He's starting out on court 2, and if he wins, he will face the winner of the match that's coming out on the centre court, and that, of course, features Rafael Nadal up against Marcus Daniel. So crowd is waiting for that. Everyone's waiting to see the return of the new world #1, the new French Open champion, Rafael Nadal. Wonderful to see him fit and back here at the Queen's Club. But Andrew Castle and Greg Rosetsky are here with me in the studio, and just listening to that Dustin Brown interview, what a character, and well, I think they'll be tempted to get him on the British Davis Cup team.
Well, what a personality. What I liked about it, he said, look, I had to struggle. I actually had to get one of those camper vans, drive from tournament to tournament, $117, which is almost no money whatsoever, and just cooking his own food. And sometimes when you have to struggle for something, it makes you that much more hungry than somebody who gets everything. And I think you have to have that hunger. If you don't have it inside, you won't make it, because the margins between winning and losing are so small.
He's a handsome devil as well, isn't he? I mean, what a marketing dream that guy would be.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he obviously plays good tennis as well. I mean, he's beaten the Canadian guy. But, you know, I mean, you came over, you did exactly this, didn't you? You came over, represented this country. Why can't he come over? I mean, are we making active moves to get this guy to play Davis Cup?
Well, I think it has to be your choice. When I came over, it was my choice to come over. Nobody made active moves towards me. So, you know, we had the same story with James Blake, who decided to play for America because he had an English mom as well. So, you know, you look at the situation, it has to be his choice. But in Jamaica, you know, if he could get to the top of the game, I mean, it would be brilliant, because, you know, you have Usain Bolt, the 100-meter world champion, and Olympic. Exactly. So, you know, it would be great if we could bring tennis to Jamaica as well.
Yeah, but, you know, and interesting, I mean, good win that he's had in the first round again against a qualifier, Frank Dankovic of
He's a pretty handy player himself. He's coached by Marty Lorendo and the Canadian Davis Cup thing. Frank has kind of underachieved a little bit. He's always there or thereabouts. A very smooth player, good player, but a very fine win. I would love him to win the next one and see him play probably Nadal in the next round.
Yeah, really.
I mean, then we could really make an assessment, can't we? That would be wonderful to watch. But yeah, a captivating story. Just outside the top 100, he's played challenges. He's earned his way there. I'm still stuck on the Davis Cup thing. I mean, get him in.
Yeah, well,
get him in if he wants to come over. Why not? He's got the British passport.
Yeah, we'll have a word with the LTA and see if they've already made those moves, or whether he's made those moves. We'll find out. But we're hoping that things are going to move pretty quickly on centre court in a moment, because we're really looking forward to see Rafael Nadal onto court. And even though there's some dark clouds overhead, no one's leaving.